Peace. It's God I here tapping back in with you again. Yes, indeed. Listen, you know, don't be distracted at this time. It is so much going on around you, around us, that everywhere you turn is something different. A lot of these things that are coming to pass are things that um, myself and, you know, many others who came before me have all made mention of. And as I look around, I'm seeing so many people being distracted, being bamboozled by what they see because they're looking out there and not inward. All of these things are distractions. This is why it's happening right now. Mind you, we are moving into winter. By the time you hear this, I don't know. Like, this is the winter. We're right now. We're right here at the winter solstice. But regardless of that, all the speculation about the drones and that, these drones are not anything foreign. See, the drones themselves are government operated drones. These drones are not foreign. They are not by, they are not operated by other beings or other extraterrestrial beings, as you would call them. But I want to say something about that. I've spoke about this before, but there's something called Project Blue Beam. I keep saying this. I've been saying this. Haven't talked about it as much lately, but I have to say it and reiterate it. So if you don't know by now what Project Blue Beam is, then I would suggest you look into it. There's been a lot of things they've tried to hide in terms of it, but nevertheless, what Project Blue Beam entails is that there are certain things that your government and the governments of the world are utilizing in terms of technology to show you something in the atmosphere, to get your attention, to make you think that it is something that it is not. You hadn't seen nothing yet. The drones are just the beginning. Wait till they really pull out the hologram technology, which they already are using some of it in China. But when they start to pull out the hologram technology and have you thinking that you're seeing something else in the sky when you really looking at a hologram, this is when people are really going to lose it. This is if you are not tapped in within. This is why I say it's important to unplug from social media. And, even if you are on social media, be mindful of what you consume in terms of the information that you take in, because you need to be on a frequency where you can just sit in stillness with yourself, and then you can get all the answers you need. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to be very mindful at this time of, a lot of the things that's being shown to you. The drones that you seeing, again, these are government operated drones. You're seeing all of these different things with AI technology now. Now it's so much AI. It's already so much AI floating around that you don't know what's real and what's fake. If you don't know, you don't know. This is why I say it is important for you to find silence and go within. When I say go within, what I mean, because there's always going to be somebody that says or asks the question, like, how do we go within, or how do we do that? Well, in a nutshell, there's different methodologies on how you go within, but the result is the same. So the first thing you need to do to go within is to, number one, detach from all external programming, devices, technology. And this is not permanent. I'm saying for the moment, detached from these external things. Put your phone down for a moment. Turn it off. Set it somewhere away from you. You know, get away from the television. Preferably, the biggest way to do this is to get out in nature and tap in with the elements. So you're gonna sit down or whatever in nature. And I don't know what the weather is like where you are, but if you can get in nature somewhere around the elements and you can sit still, if you can listen to nature, if you can hear the wind blowing, if you can listen to the water, if you can hear um, the animals, the birds chirping, sit in silence. And something happens when you do that. When you're sitting there in nature and you start to breathe, just breathe. You're not talking. You're not sitting there just thinking. You're going to have some thoughts come up because that's natural. But when you have thoughts come up, you have to be able to just don't judge it, just let it go. Don't feed the thoughts that you have. Acknowledge it and just release it. So eventually you're going to start to the mind is going to get much quieter because you don't have all of this shit around you. Now you can go within. Now when you go within, you're going to close your eyes. You're going to do whatever you got to do to get into that state. And as you go within, you don't go in with thought. You understand? You don't go in thinking. You just simply sit and be. And when you sit and be, you'll start to get answers to questions that you have, and things will start to come to you because now you're quiet. Now the spirit is still and you can receive the information versus you getting it from the media. So when you get to this state right here, right, this is when you'll be able to get messages directly from source. Spirit is going to communicate with you. Now you can hear. So now you know what's real because you're tapped into the source, the divine source, not the television, So I'm saying that to say, get to that space. It's very important because with all of the shit that they're throwing out there at you right now, if you don't have discernment, if you're not in tune with yourself, if you're not tapped into the frequency of the earth, you are going to be easily misled and fooled by every single thing that you see. You got to remember that you're dealing with a group of beings on this planet who are on their way out of here, and they are throwing everything at you that they can in order for them to be able to hold their position. This is why you're seeing this drone technology. These drones, this shit is fake. I mean, the drones are real, but the drones are government operated. They know exactly what they are. Sometimes it's something as simple as using critical thinking. When have you ever saw the Air Force or the United States or the military not be able to identify something flying in the atmosphere and not shoot it down? Listen, they got missiles. They got missiles that can detect anything in the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? They got weapons that would easily spot something coming into the atmosphere and shoot it down before it even gets a chance to even get close enough to the earth to do anything. So you mean to tell me with all that, they can't figure out what this is and what it's coming from? You got to pay attention. Project Bluebeam. They're going to be showing you these things. What they're trying to do is gear you up for what's really coming. See, this right here this is staged. This is a psyop. The drones, because there are real beings that are here. See, they don't want to talk about the fact that I talked about this I think it was a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. There was a ship that landed. It was a ship, an actual ship, not a drone, that landed on an airport runway. And this account comes from an actual pilot who worked at the airport. So this is not me twisting his words. You can go look this up if it's still there. But anyway, there was a pilot that told the story about there was a aircraft, it was a spacecraft that landed on an airport runway. And they were all watching to see what it was. And so when this thing landed on this airport runway, they say that the back of this ship opened up like a door. And out of it walked these 9, 10 foot, maybe even 12 feet black beings who all were armed. They were all armed and they surrounded the ship with weapons and just stood there. Now, this happened like a year or two ago. I talked about this. That was real. That's what they fear. And see, what they want to do is they want to make you think that those people, those beings, the beings that are connected to some of us here, mind you, these was tall, giant, not necessarily giant, but what you would consider the giant beings, black beings. And I'm not saying all of this to get into whatever the color of them was, but you can't negate the fact that these were black beings, melanated beings. And so these entities are here to intervene. And so what's happening is your government is trying to show you these drones. They're going to try to make you think that this is some type of attack. And they want you to think that these beings are here and we need to attack them before they attack us in order to get the people to turn on the real beings who actually are here to assist. But nevertheless, they're going to be throwing all of the tricks out there at you, you know. I'm telling you right here, right now, they're throwing everything that they can out there at you. Now you see something there. I saw something recently about the Pope opening up the 5 portals. The Pope opening up 5 portals. Like, listen, these people are desperately trying everything that they can. You know, at the end of the day, it's nothing that they can do. I mean, what can the Pope do? And you got people covering this story, and it's important to know these things, but is it really that important to know? What's more important is to know thyself. This is the moment where you know who you are, and you know how to go within and call home those, you need to call in the DNA, awaken the DNA of your ancient ancestors, because they are here, ready. You know what I'm saying? Ready. So the Pope trying to open up these portals, listen, open them up all you want. Because this force that's within us all, this force that's within us, the true living God who are here, is something that cannot be contained. You can't stop it. Because there's an invisible force here that just can't be stopped. The Pope trying to open up a portal to bring in these entities to unleash some shit on the world, to bring down those who are the spiritual leaders here, who are here to assist the shift. They want the opposite. They want to keep the current system in place. It's not going to happen. That shit is not going to happen. It is divine law and divine order that this shit is over. The end of an age. Everything must fall. Everything has its beginning and its ending. And in every ending, there's a beginning. So this shit is over for them. I don't care how many portals you go and try to open up. It's a reason. You mean to tell me, listen, the same Pope who bows down and prays to the Black Madonna, I'm supposed to be worried about that? You kneel and you pray to my ancestors when you in secret. So how in the world can you use my sciences, our spiritual practices, our deities, our ancestors? How can you use that to attack the very people who come from those very ancestors that you like to bow down to? Make that make sense. What happens when these energies have the reverse effect? You know what I'm saying? And completely annihilate those who are trying to use it or misuse it. Now, again, these are some of the things going on in this moment at the time that I'm recording this. The emergence of AI, Elon Musk. See, I want you to know something about, like, keep an eye on Elon too. Elon Musk is introducing forms of artificial intelligence that could very well bring about destruction. I don't give a fuck about Elon, to be honest. You know, I, you know, he's one of those people that could potentially be what you call a double agent. You know what I'm saying? Like, he act like he's for the people and this, that, and the third, but keep a very close eye on Elon. You know, I never really, again, man, it's just, I never really, you know, locked in with Elon. I never had much of a issue with Elon in the beginning, but then there was things that I was seeing that I was like, okay, this could be going somewhere detrimental. And so you got to keep an eye on this guy. But at the end of the day, don't watch too close. Your first eye is what should be open, which means your physical eyes should be closed. And the only thing you really need to keep an eye on is yourself. Pay close attention to the way you feel. Pay close attention to your body, your mind, your emotions, because these things are telling you what's going on. Everything that's going on is going on within. They want to distract you from what's going on within you by showing you what's going on out there. Everything out there is a fucking illusion. Everybody's so worried about the fucking holographic universe, the matrix, the hologram. All of this shit is holographic technology. You know, it's a simulation. You got to go within to get the fuck out. If you want to get out of this shit, you got to go within in order to get out. You know, and you can't be afraid of death, because death is the beginning of life. Death is the beginning of life. You go through death and rebirth. You go through death and rebirth many times or several times. It depends on, you know, where you are. Don't be afraid of that. You know, it's time to shift. The shift has happened in quite a bit of us, and it's continuing to happen. This is the last, you're looking at the last leg of the old reality. It's gone, like it's already fallen. Don't let these people keep you stuck in a reality where everything is based on external things, technology, and they only using all of this shit because they know they can't go anywhere. The beings who create this technology don't have the consciousness to ascend. They don't know how to go within. A lot of these beings don't even have souls. Some of these beings are NPCs themselves, but a lot of these beings that are controlling the 3D reality are not people who have the ability to ascend. They don't have it in them yet. They haven't activated it yet. They don't have it. They don't know how to move into other planes of existence without a spaceship. You think you can get in a spaceship and travel to another plane, another planet? Planet? It ain't happening. It's bullshit. They never left here. They never went anywhere. All this talk about them going to Mars and shit, all of that shit is fake. And I will invite anyone to have a discussion with me. I don't do debating because I am on a, like we are, I'm not on that frequency to debate. However, if you feel differently, I will show you the evidence that they have never been to fucking Mars, the moon, any other planet besides the one that you see them on, Gaia. Why? Because you don't get to these other planes unless you have the right vehicle. Now, what vehicle is this? The vehicle that you need is indeed not physical, but a spiritual spaceship, which we call your macabre, your light vehicle that you can use to travel interdimensionally, spiritually. Activating the macabre is key to traveling. And again, I'm speaking from experience. I'm telling you, when you go to sleep, when you lie down, there's the ability to project outside of the body and go to these different planes of existence. And you really are moving and traveling. You know what I'm saying? Outside of space and time. When you get into this higher dimension, when you get into this light vehicle, which we call your light body, your macabre, you're able to travel. And this is how you are able to see different paradigms, different dimensions, different planets, different planes, and you can go see them. I know this from experience. There is no fucking spaceship that you can get in and go. Listen. All that shit is fake. It is fake. Don't believe the hype. They've been lying to you all of this time. They can't go nowhere. That's why they are creating more AI, more technology, and things of that nature in order to keep you suppressed, because that's the only way that they can try to keep the shit going. They want to keep the simulation going. And they're going to be showing you all kinds of shit. And the spiritual people too, they trying to fool you. They definitely trying to get you. You got to pay very close attention to you. Tap in. You know, I know you like to listen to a lot of these spiritual teachers and shit. And I mean, you need to listen to those who you feel connected with and are aligned with. But what I'm saying is sometimes we can be too plugged into what's being said online, and we ain't taking time to really tap in and tune into our own frequency so that we can, you know, see what's going on for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a highly spiritual person, don't get caught up in all of the things that they trying to show you. You thought you saw an angel, but that was holographic technology. Do you know the difference? Can you tell if there's an angelic presence in the room with you? Can you tell if when you look out into the atmosphere, can you tell that the sun, which sun is real? If they show you more than one sun, do you know if one of them is a hologram, or do you know if both of them are real? Or are you going to go report this on your YouTube page saying, hey, I just saw another? You got to know the difference. And the less you consume the media, the more you will be able to discern these things when you see them. Be still and know that I am God. This is what you should do. As it states, for the kingdom of heaven is within, states your Bible, or the Biblios Helios, the book of the sun, meaning go within. Where's your true temple? It's not the mosque. It's not the church. The true temple is the physical body. You go within the temple in order to worship. You know, that's your place of worship. That's where you tap in. You go into your temple, your body. Close your eyes. Go within, where the spirit dwells, where the soul sits. And this is how you tap in. raising your frequency and being able to see things that are not just in the 3D reality physical. 3D is a very dense reality. You go within to raise the bar, to see beyond the third dimension. You go within to see these things and experience them, and you can shift and influence the energy. This is what we do. You know, this is why the kingdom of heaven is within, says the book. The kingdom. Get me? Because when you look at your crown, when you look at your head on your body, they call that your dome, right? That's your kingdom. Become the king of your dome. The king of your dome. The mind, the head. This is why they place the crown of a king on the head, because that is the kingdom. The kingdom. Kingdom. I know it's pronounced dumb, but it's really dome. You know, they took the English language and started pronouncing words differently than, the way that the word is supposed to be pronounced, and it changes the whole, So I'm saying this to say, it's you. You. Everything out there is being projected through your eyes, your physical eyes. It's all in you. And you worried about some fucking drones that the government got? What do they got? What the fuck do they got that they ain't already had? Anything that they showing you now is old. You get me? It's very old. So it's time. Again, I had to come and just say this quick word, and I'll be back with some more. It's time. It is time. And I'm pretty sure, you know what, I ain't gonna say that. But look, it's time. Go within. Don't be fooled. Because it's a lot more that's coming. They're gonna show you. And it's not what you think. Make sure if you still listening to this, you hit that like button, man, and subscribe to the channel. It's the House of Ancestors, God I Seer. And you can go over to TikTok and follow me at God I Seer. That is GODAUSERE on TikTok. And keep it locked in, man. And if you need to reach me at any, in any way for any type of speaking engagement, for any type of consult, spiritual consultation, you can reach me directly. That email is info@thehouseofancestors.com. Again, the email is info@thehouseofancestors.com. If you can't get me there, which you should be able to, then you can also DM me on Instagram at The House of Ancestors. There's multiple ways to find me. You can find me. Drop a comment, share this message, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.